Hello friends, Kim here. Welcome to my channel. Hey, I'm coming on here to share my April block with you, and in the process I'd like to show you where we started and what's going on. Now this one is the January block. It had a bunny rabbit and lace, I believe, and my favorite was this so delicate. It was really delicate. I did some running stitch. I had some the bunny is in partially in the linen, and also then on just the cotton. So, and then this is some old lace that my grandmother had, and then this is some more lace and some that I had dyed, and then another piece I tried to tie it all together to have the linen here also. So that was the January, and of course there's a few little tulips by the bunny rabbit. And then these two will be next to each other in my book. So then this one was a fabulous flower, I believe. And honestly, I don't remember the other prompt, but it was so fun to make. It was just really a lot of fun to make. And I made some foxglove down at the bottom, and I used the negative space to make the flower, and I stitched around this. It was a piece of upholstery fabric that I had. I put some buttons on, lace, and this is even a silk flower here. And then I did turkey work for the first time and made some zinnias there and outlined some of the leaves in the fabric. I hope you can see that well. So that's the January and the February. January and the February page. And then what happened, let me move these over here. I like this fabric. I'm going to make a book out of this. I hope you guys like it too. I thought it made a pretty backdrop. And so this one, that's January, February, then March. March was old fabrics and a beautiful butterfly. And what I did for the butterfly is I rust dyed fabrics. I had done another collaboration with Jennifer, and we had went to thrift shops, and I picked up some rusty nails, and I rust dyed this old tablecloth that I had, so I stitched it down. I like this turquoise color with the rusty color. This was an old tea towel, and it had holes in it. I used it as a art rag and wiping up paint. And so, and then this was a old piece of lace. And then these are some fabrics that I kind of pieced together, and they were from fabrics that I had gotten at like an antique shop, secondhand shop, but they were just in a bundle where somebody had sewed, and so I liked them together. And then that was March, the March page. So what I have for the April page, I had shared some of it, and I'd shared my composition and what I was going to do. Now I've finished it, other than one little piece. I've got a walkway here that I had a crocheted piece that I cut up. This is a piece of cheesecloth that I had dyed, and it sort of looks gray. It's sort of a lavender color. This is a piece of my painted papers that I liked for the door on this little fairy cottage is what this is, with the lace trim as the roof. And these were quilted pieces. This was a little hexagon quilt that I tore apart, and then these pieces I kept together. I just stitched sort of in the ditch with I did hand stitching on this, but then I left it. It's still quilty. It still has lots of layers, and I like seeing that in this piece. but they're little windows. I had this heart trim, and I used the heart trim. I cut it up and I put it over the door and over both windows. I outlined the windows with, it looks black, but it's really a dark, dark navy blue, because I used the same on the chimney up here. Somebody made a comment to make sure I put a chimney, and I love putting the chimney on it too. These little fairies like to build a fire and get cozy with their tea and reading books. There's a string. But on their little garden, I had this trim, and I'm going to share with you a friend I've made online, and she has a lace, sells a lot of pretty laces. You may even know her. But I think I'd gotten this from her some time ago, and I took my gold, I don't think I can reach it now, but it's like a Sharpie, and well, maybe I can. It's this gold Sharpie, and it's got like beads in there. Got a lot of different gold pens, but this is the one I used on it. It looks brownish, but it's like a golden color. So I put a little of this on here, and I thought this looked like fencing. So I gave them a little fence, and then as I stitched my roses, this is roses here, and these are peach-colored roses. I used to have a rose that was a real deep peach. It was called a Tropicana. And then I have blue for the hydrangeas, and then these are vining up, and I had thought they might be clematis, but I don't know. Some of them look like irises, so they're a little fairy flower, is all I know about that. But I really liked the way my walkway came out, and my little flower bed. And then I had a little visitor that came in, and she was ready to visit as she stood on the walkway up to the little house. See, she's in the foreground, is why she's so big, and the door looks small. But I had kind of fun with that, like putting the Google eyes on something. And what I'm going to do, though, is I think it needs to be a little wider. I don't know if I cut this or tore it, but I like this lace. And what I'm going to do, I don't know that it's an old lace, but I'm going to take, she's not going to stay on here. She's a paper stamp. And this is not my original idea to dress her up. She's a paper stamp that I put on some pretty paper to make it a little heavier. And she's by Red Lead Stamp Company. And then what I did, I don't know if you can see it, but her little shoes, I put a glossy accents on them, so they're patent leather. And then this is with some dyed eyelet lace, and I gave her a collar up there. But this is just, and then I put this is a, the star is a little stud that you put through, and then I added a little ribbon to it. And like I say, it's not my original idea. I had seen Robin Dudley Howes share this on her channel, and I thought it was so cute. I went and bought the stamp. This has been over a year ago. And then I put some shiny, I think that's Nouveau, those Nouveau drops, glitter drops, if you can see it shining. But she looked so sweet with her wings. She seemed to fit right there on the pathway going into her little cottage. So I think what I'm going to do is just stitch this down. I wanted to put it under, but sometimes I get going and forget to do step A before step B, and then I backtrack. So Anyways, I'm just going to stitch that so that's hanging off the edge of my book there. And sometimes she'll come and visit the garden. But that's my April page, and I hope you enjoy watching it. If you enjoy, please give me a thumbs up, and I hope you'll tell your friends. As I tape record this for my giveaway, there are 199 subscribers to my channel, and I was so hoping that I could announce that I was going to do the giveaway tomorrow, and but as I say, it's at 200, and we'll just wait. There's certain ones on there. So if you haven't entered, you could still enter. It's a couple of videos back. I'll put the link in the description box. And, you know, there's so many things you can do with stitching. So many things. I hope you enjoyed visiting her little cottage garden. But I was going to share with you real quick some laces that I picked up. And these are from Nery at DC Scrap and Rooster. That's the name of her channel. It's DC Scrap and Rooster. And I picked up a couple of laces. She has and I'm just going to run through them and let you know that she has laces in an Etsy shop. They're really beautiful. Very beautiful. And she's accessible. You know, she'll answer if you get her on YouTube or if you contact her through her Etsy shop. DC Scrap and Rooster. Well, there's that. I love these laces. These sort of embroidered laces. I think that's the back side. But this is just one pack. And that I picked up. I got a white one also, but I was just going to show you some of these. And they're great for what we're doing with slow stitching. Of course, I had this one. This one you can put ribbon through. That's a really wide one. Here's one. I tend to go for the creams and the tea dye. This is not as cream. This is a cream. It's not pure white, but it's not as tea colored as this. And I tend to like the tea colored, although the white ones are great for dyeing. You can dye them any color you want, and they seem to take it. These are my favorites. This one, beautiful. Hey, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope you'll return. And now I'm going to start on the May. The May prompts are favorite color and beautiful bird. I have no idea what to do with the bird, so we'll see.